angle is bad. If you don't like the way the video looks right now, I'm so sorry. Just look at Mike Wazowski up here. Focus on him for the video. Hello, booktubing world. It is I, Capri Nicole. Now I'm back with another video. So today I'm gonna be doing my October wrap up, and I just pre-filmed a ton of videos. I actually made another channel, which is a personal channel. So I filmed a whole bunch of videos for that channel. If you want to follow it, I'll leave it in the description box below so you can check it out. But we're here to talk about books. So let's talk about books. Okay, so for the month of October, I read 7. Did I read 7? I read 7 books. I don't know, this month was a really good reading month for me, but I feel like I read a lot more towards like the end of the month, like when it was like creaking towards like the last couple weeks. That's when I was just like binge reading books back to back. I can't remember what book kind of sparked my binge reading, but yeah, let's get into the 7 books that I read. So the first book that I read in October was You, and this book follows the MC Joe and another MC Beck. So Joe is this crazy ass dude that is stalking this girl, but he ends up dating her without her knowing that he's a stalker crazy ass. Okay, so you're just following his the story follows in his mind, but the way it's written, it makes it sound like he's talking to you because he says it like you open the door, you do this, you do that. And everybody kept telling me to read this book, but I wanted to wait until October to read it because it's so spooky and creepy. And I read it while I was on my cruise, and I finished it up when I came back. And that book, it was just crazy. It was so weird to me how like some of the things that he would say would be like normal in like YA books or like fantasy books. And I'm just like, are we enjoying problematic like tropes? Or it made me really question a lot of the tropes that we like in this community. Is very interesting. It was very crazy. He was crazy from the jump, and I had to keep telling myself like, stop feeling bad for him. There were some parts where I just like felt bad for him, or I would be like, oh, that makes sense, but then I would be like, no, like his ass is crazy. That book, I really loved it. I flew through that book. I think that's the book that really sparked it. Like, that's the first book I read for the month of October, and I think it pushed me to like want to read so many other books because it just like, it caught my attention. And I remember like looking down and being like 90 pages in, and I just was like, it was the longest a book kept my attention since quite some time. It's been a while since I've been like engulfed in a book, so I really enjoyed that. I gave that book 4 stars. Tried to watch the TV show. The TV show is a little cringy, but I feel like it would be good if I like sat down and really paid attention, but it's a little cringy in a way, kind of. I don't know what it is about that show, but I really love the book. Love the book, love the writing, and I'm kind of upset because everybody says the second book is actually shit, so everybody's telling me not to read the second book, but I'm kind of disappointed because I really wanted to see what was up next. So the second book that I read for the month of October was Dark Dawn, and it's about summed up that book like that. I was sleeping 60% through that book. I was like slumped. Which is disappointing. So if you don't know what Dark Dawn is the 3rd book in the Nevernight series, which follows an assassin by the name of Mia, and she is on a revenge journey to avenge her parents. She goes to like a school for assassins to get her ultimate revenge plan. I can't really go into depths of it because this is the 3rd book in the series, so I don't want to give anything away, but it follows her journey and her new discoveries, new friends, new family. So at the end of the 2nd book in the series, I was just like shook. After that ending, I was so excited to read the 3rd book, and I kept seeing everybody talk about Dark Dawn, and everybody was crying, and everybody was sad, and I was just like, damn, I was like putting it off because I was like, I didn't want to cry. I was like, I'm not about that life, like let me just like wait. But then I finally was just like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And I was like, I remember being 30% through the book, and I was like starting to get worried because I'm just like, I'm bored. Like, am I supposed to be this bored? And then I got 50% through, and I still was bored. And then 60% through, things started happening and catching my attention. But holy shit, I don't know what I was expecting, but excessive yawning and boredom was not it. I gave this book 3 stars. I feel like this book got mixed reviews. From what I saw on Twitter, some people gave it 3, some people gave it 5, and I was just like wondering where I was gonna fall on that spectrum. I'm falling on that 3-star. I don't know what it was about this book. It felt like it was just like missing something. Like things were happening, but the action scenes and stuff weren't catching my attention like they usually do. It was just like I was more thankful for the action scenes because they stopped me from like dozing off instead of me just like enjoying the action scenes. I was just like grateful for them, which is like kind of disappointing. I don't know what it was. It kind of felt like it wasn't the same book, and it didn't feel like it was a part of the series. Like I would have been perfectly fine with it ending or like kind of wrapping up within the second book, because that ending just spot on. And if maybe a couple other things happened at the end of that book and they just left it at that, I would have been okay with that, because this book it felt like a middle book in the series. Like it felt like just a lot of journeying. Like there was so much journeying, so much traveling, so much talking, so much why is my necklace way over here? So much talking. It was just like so much it felt like a filler book, even though it was the last book, which is, yeah, it just wasn't what I was expecting. It was kind of disappointing, but I was so excited for this book too. And after I read You, I was so excited to read another book, and I was like disappointed to see that the book that I was anticipating did not live up to the hype. I was very bored. So that's that on that. The next book that I read was The Silent Patient. I gave this book 5 stars. So I was extremely thankful for this book, because after I read Dark Dawn, I was like, yeah, I needed something to just revive me before I fell into a slump. And it follows this psychiatrist who is treating this patient who was an artist, and she's in the psychiatric facility because she shot her husband 5 times, which, you know, obviously people are out of their minds. Some people are crazy, but apparently that couple was like the perfect couple, and it was very random for that to even happen. And once she shot her husband, she just stopped talking. Nobody knows what the hell happened. Nobody knows what went wrong or what the cause was. So this psychiatrist is trying to get her to talk. He wants to know her story. He's trying to deep dive into like her mental state or whatever. So that's the gist of this book. Oh my god. It was so good. It was so good. I listened to this on audiobook, and what I really liked about this was there was 2 different perspectives, and like sometimes when you listen to audiobooks and there's more than one perspective, you like feel like the perspective you were listening to gets pulled away from you too fast, and you just like wait, because you know how you have your favorite character chapters and you're just like, come on, get to the chapter that I want to read. But with this, hearing both of their perspectives and their point of views or their talks or their chapters, it flowed so smoothly together. It didn't feel like I was like getting snatched out of one story and starting another one. It just all flowed together really well. I was confused the entire time. That's the thing that I like about thrillers, is like you don't know what's going on. Like you don't know. And I was just the whole time, I don't trust nobody. And thrillers, I don't trust nobody. Nothing. Friends, family, boyfriend, cousin, I don't trust nobody. All right, I was trusting none. And then you just try to pick apart everything and try to figure out what the plot is. And I tried so hard and I still couldn't figure it out. I ended up being wrong, but you know, it was still fun. I'm really getting into thrillers, and I really think I like psychological thrillers because I like the explanation and the story behind like why we think like this, how certain events in our life will affect our brain or how we function or how our day-to-day life, stuff like that. I really like that. So if you have any psychological thriller recommendations, definitely leave them in the comment section below. I love this book so much. It was so good. It was so good. Yeah, it was good. This is a book I definitely want to reread. It's like one of those books where like once you find out the ending, you want to go back now that you know what happened and just like pick up on the things that you missed. Yeah, I really love this one. I recommended it to so many people while I was reading it. The next book that I read for the month of October was Coraline. I think it's Coraline. I remember the character kept correcting kept correcting people how to say her name, and I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but whatever. It follows this child who lives in a regular world setting, and she likes to explore and have adventures and do fun stuff, but her parents are always super busy, so she ends up finding this door that leads to another world, but the world is an exact replica of her own world. It's a classic. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this book is about. It's with the people with the buttons for the eyes. Yeah, okay, so that's what I read. I listened to this on audiobook, and this shit gave me nightmares when I was like, when this movie came out and I watched, like, I didn't even watch the whole thing, but I remember it gave me nightmares because just the part with the button eyes, I was not here for it, okay? Like, I wasn't here for it at all. I gave this one 3 stars. It was very weird. I think it was narrated by the author, so there were parts where there was like singing and parts with like music. I enjoyed it for the most part. There were a lot of parts where I would zone out. Like, I wasn't even listening. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I did my best because I was trying to get my book count up because I was so close to finishing my Goodreads reading goal for the year, which I think I set it to 50 books, and I just finished it. I like the underlining messages, like appreciate what you have, appreciate your family. I liked how hungry she was for adventure. Kind of makes me want to watch the movie, but I'm scared that the movie's gonna give me nightmares, so we're not gonna go that route. We're just gonna leave Coraline where she is. So the next book that I read for the month of October was Jane Doe. This book I gave 4 stars. It follows the MC who is out for revenge. Everybody's out for revenge. If you haven't noticed, I tried to read a lot of creepy books for the month of October because I was really bummed that I didn't get to like decorate my shelves and get in the spirit because I just was working a lot and I had a lot of shit going on. I didn't have time to really be creative. So I tried to fill the void with like spooky books. And she's out for revenge because the death of her best friend was caused by a really toxic, verbally abusive relationship that she was in. So she coming for the guy, okay? She's coming for his ass. And that's what the entire story follows. I like this one because it was like a thriller / revenge book, but you already knew what she was trying to do. Like, you knew she was like out to either try to kill him or destroy his life or, you know, whatever. She was out for revenge. So like, I already knew what the point of the whole plot was, so I wasn't like constantly picking apart everything and trying to figure out what the hell was going on because I already knew from the jump. So it kind of was like a smooth ride thriller. Like, I just kind of flowed with the MC and just like enjoyed the story. But the thing with her is, like, this MC, she's a sociopath, so she has like absolutely no feeling, and I liked her. Like, I really liked her. I liked her point of view, and I connected with this MC a lot, which is a little scary, but you know what? It's fine. Yeah, for a majority of the book, she was just like acting things out for the benefit of her revenge. And it was like getting 2 points of view from the same person, like the person that she was acting as and then her true self. But it was such a fun time. Like, there were so many points that were just like hilarious. Yeah, Steven, he was a shitbag. And the worst part is, like, there's actually real people on the world that are like that. Like, it just makes me so mad. But yeah, I like the way that he was picked apart. I like the way she picked his ass apart. I like the way she plotted against him. The ending was just chef kiss. Like, I don't know if this is a series because I can't remember if I saw like number 1 next to the title, but if it's a series, I'm down for the ride. And she actually had like a love interest going on in there too, and there was a little bit of LGBTQ rep in that thing too. And the last book that I read for the month of October, I finished it yesterday. I was supposed to finish this book like 4 months ago because it was supposed to be like a buddy read, I think. I don't know what the hell happened. One person finished it out of the 3 of us, and it just was like tragic. I don't know anybody in the book community that can finish a book like from start to finish as like a buddy read. It never goes well. Like, we didn't finish, but I saw it was in my currently reading for like months, so I was like, I need to finish this book. I had already started it. I was like, I think like 20% through, but I was like, okay, let me start it over because I barely remember the names. I don't know I remember the plot and everything, but I didn't remember what the hell was going on. She's the owner of a dating app, and she's trying to take control of another dating app, and she goes to show up to meet up with the business owner, and then they have a new spokesperson, and it is a guy that ghosted her, and now she's out for blood. And they end up working together, so it follows them, because I guess they had like one night together and then he ghosted her. She never saw him again. It's like a fake dating trope, kinda. Yeah. My brain's not working. I've already recorded like 5 videos, so I'm like struggling right now. But it was fun. I feel like this book went by really, really fast. I think I finished it in like a day and a half. It was fun. It was interesting. I really like both of the MCs because she was really power hungry, but she kind of just did her own thing, and I don't know, I like that she was like really feminine, but she also was like in control. Like people think that I don't know, people associate someone that likes like girly things as someone that cannot be in power or in a power position, which is like ridiculous. I mean, she had like her sweatpants and stuff, you know, whatever, most of the time, but she still liked pink and she still like did girly things, and I liked her. She was really power hungry. She was really driven. She got screwed over in the past. A little bit of broken, damaged baggage going on there. And then he was like a gentle giant. He put me in the mind of like Jason Momoa. So you know, I was vibing with that the whole time. I was just like here for it. So I think he was Samoan too. So that was really interesting, and it kind of shine the light on like the football community and the problems when it comes to like injuries, head injuries, depression, stuff like that. I gave this book 4 stars. I was really surprised that this has such low ratings on Goodreads. I think it has like 3.75. I'll read those reviews later. Speaking of reviews, I'm super behind on mine, but I really enjoyed it. The only thing that was really weird to me was like what was weird to me was the sex scenes, because they were so like abrupt. Like there was like no lead up. It was just like bam. Like there was like no creeping into it. It just was like full-fledged ahead, and I'm just like at work like, let me turn down my volume. It just felt like a jolt. Like it wasn't a smooth transition with those scenes. But for the most part, the plot was great, the characters were great, scenes were great, everything was great. Great way to just wrap up the month. And hello. It's editing Capri. I forgot to talk about one more book that I read for the month of October. It was There's Something About Sweetie, and I really, 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 really love that book, and I'm aggravated that I forgot to talk about it, but I'll just add it to my November wrap up, so stay tuned for that one. I'll add it into that, and just, yeah, that's all I can do. Okay, bye. So like I said, I had a good reading month, except for one book. Everything else was 4 and 5 stars. It just was a great month. Top notch. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what books you read in October. Comment below. If you don't know what to comment on my videos, leave hearts. You already know. Leave the hearts. Or leave pumpkins, because obviously it's October. So leave the hearts. Leave the pumpkins. Leave all that. Let me know what books you read in October, or your favorite book that you read in the month of October. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. All that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Always remember, read a book. Keep your life interesting, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.